going down on an epic scale this Saturday.
Holy Mary, Mother of God.
Hearts will be broken and championships will be won. In this video, I'll be sharing all of my best bets for the Big 12 Championship, the Big East Championship, the ACC Championship, and the Pac-12 Championship. In my last college basketball video, I should have had a clean sweep, but it was a profitable day nonetheless. So, I'm going to try and help you add a little dough to your bread box. Be sure to help a brother out by hitting that like button. I mean, the amount of research and time it takes to make these videos.
How about a little something, for the effort,
But I implore you to follow what you're feeling, maybe do some of your own research, maybe do a ritual to appease the gambling gods, and let's enjoy an electric day of college basketball. And I may have a few more picks up my sleeve throughout the day, so if you want to follow more of my picks, you can check out my profile on the Better Off app. It's absolutely free, by the way. Anyways, let's get rolling with our first game. Texas Tech is set to take on the Jayhawks for the Big 12 Tournament Championship. This line opened with Kansas -1, and the total started at 134.5. Kansas has been the class of the Big 12 for as long as I can remember, and they've had Texas Tech's number, along with pretty much everyone else in that conference. It just kind of seems like the same old story for Kansas. They have a chance at a 1 seed, worst case, maybe a 2 seed. But I don't think that the Red Raiders are going to be intimidated. This is a rubber match. They already beat this same Jayhawks team earlier in the season, and when they played the second time, Texas Tech gave them all they could handle, taking them to double overtime before losing by 3. If Texas Tech can get going on offense, I like their chances. Their defense always keeps them in the game. However, Texas Tech keeping up with Kansas is a big if. They don't have any dominant scoring threat to really count on when the game's on the line. So I gotta roll with Rock Chalk Jayhawk in this one, which is essentially a coin toss. I'm going to take the team that owned the other throughout the years and risk 2 units on this. By the way, guys, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. These videos are sometimes uploaded to YouTube maybe an hour before the game starts, so it's important to subscribe and ring the bell to stay on top of the action with us on the Better Off channel. Next, we got the Big East Championship between Creighton and Villanova. The Wildcats opened as a 7.5 point favorite, and the total started at 130. These lines have both adjusted and will probably continue to adjust as we get closer to tip-off. Check out the Better Off app to shop for the best odds. I imagine Creighton must be feeling a little bit disrespected by this spread. 7.5 points? I mean, what do they have to do to make people believe that they're for real? They've had the toughest road to get to this point in the tournament. They knocked off Marquette and Providence. They also beat Villanova earlier in the season by 20 points. Then again, when they played a second time, the Wildcats spanked the Jays by 34 points. That's the problem with Creighton, is they can be a bit inconsistent at times on offense. The Wildcats, on the other hand, always have good defense to bank on. I think Villanova wins this game, but I don't trust them to cover that spread. I will take the points with Creighton, but I also feel that if the Blue Jays do cover the spread, that this will be a low-scoring affair. So, I'm putting this together as a correlated parlay with the Jays and the under. This is definitely one of the more intriguing matchups of the day. Getting through the Big East tournament usually leaves teams with some bumps and bruises. So let me know your thoughts on this game in the comment section down below. The ACC Championship is going down in Brooklyn. Virginia Tech opened as a 6-point underdog to the Blue Devils. But I also saw that Duke was favored by a half a point more or less in some places, so make sure you shop around. The total started at 138.5, but can be found as low as 135.5. There's a saying about the best laid plans, but I won't get into that. You see, Duke had a great plan to send off head coach Mike Krzyzewski into retirement. They planned on beating their biggest rival North Carolina to send him off in retirement with their last game of the season. Only problem was that nobody told the Tar Heels they needed to lay down and let them win. Go figure. That loss may have been a blessing in disguise though. After that embarrassing showing, it may have switched on a light that they can't just go through the motions and expect teams to roll over and play dead. And Virginia Tech will definitely be throwing the kitchen sink to secure an at-large bid for the dance. Otherwise, they may be doing a lot of shifting in their seats on Selection Sunday. That said, I think this game could be close. So if I was going to take the spread, I would lean toward taking the point. But what I really like is the Blue Devils team total to go over 71.5. Duke has averaged 80 points a game this season, and they rank 6th in the nation in scoring. I think Duke is going to do whatever it can to help send Coach K off with an ACC tournament championship this time. Whether they cover the spread, I'm not quite so sure about that, but I do think that they will put up enough points to help us cash in this play. The Pac-12 championship goes down in Vegas, and it's a couple of heavyweights stepping on the scene. The Wildcats open as a 1.5 point favorite, but you might also find it at 1. The total opened at 143, and that line seems pretty steady, but you might be able to find it at 144 some places. Both teams will no doubt be in the tournament this year. In fact, Arizona probably has a 1 seed already locked up regardless of whether they win this game or not. They finished out the last 2 months of the season on a tear. They've won 19 of their last 21 games. However, one of those defeats was to the Bruins. UCLA plays almost the exact opposite style of basketball that Arizona does. Arizona likes to push the tempo, UCLA likes to slow it down. The Bruins were undefeated in games that they limited opponents to less than 65 points this season. It's really going to come down to who does a better job of dictating the pace. That said, these kids are going to be playing their third game in 3 days, so I think the tired legs could help this game hit the under. In the 2 games these guys have already played against each other, neither went over this total, so give me the under. Confidence level 3. Alright guys, as I mentioned, I will be submitting more picks on the Better Off app throughout the day, so make sure you first have the app, it's free by the way, and then find my profile and hit the follow button to receive notifications when I make more picks. Also, if you like getting picks right here on this channel where I explain things too, subscribe and tap the bell to stay on top of the action, and don't forget to tap that like button. Anyways, that's a wrap for the picks in this video. Until next time, best of luck banging on the books.